Hello everyone, welcome back to A Cup of English. The title of your podcast today is Half In. This podcast is brought to you by my YouTube channel that is also called A Cup of English. There you can find some very relaxing videos that will help you absorb English, and other ones that are fun and informative, all about daily use. So let's get on with the podcast. Half In. For many months, I have been involved in a renovation project that has extended into at least 6 months. Thankfully, it is almost complete. The original plan was that my mother would move into a refreshed and updated downstairs area, and I would have the upstairs. This is still the plan. However, we have had to proceed in 2 different stages. My mum has moved in already, but my upstairs area is still quite bare and rudimentary. And by that, I mean exposed plumbing, no carpet, and a fully exposed roof. You would have to be desperate to live in my apartment at the moment, as you can hardly call it an apartment at all. Thankfully, I have a carpenter who is much more than his job description. He can do just about anything when it comes to constructing a house. He is from Venezuela, so I enjoy speaking Spanish to him. He's very accommodating and diplomatic as well. I seem to keep changing my mind and adding new ideas, and he simply smiles, clarifies what I would like, then nods his head and says, "Está bien, Ana." Very charming. But gosh, there are 1,000 things to think about, double check and schedule. Some days other workmen turn up late, or not at all. An ordered part might be delayed, or something breaks. You have to learn to manage your stress when you are up to your neck in stuff. It reminds me of a man I used to know who was a general contractor, a man who organizes all of the different workmen on a job site. I asked him once what he did all day, and he replied, "I spend the whole day yelling at people." I wouldn't be cut out for that. So, as you can imagine, I make a trip every day up to my house, visit my mum and have a cup of tea, and then get on with the project upstairs. The days are flying by, and I so look forward to the move-in date. Finally, I will be in my newly renovated little sanctuary. Okay, we have a couple of grammar points today, 2 very useful phrases. We'll start out with the adverb hardly. Hardly is definitely a daily use word. It means almost not or barely. Here are a couple of examples. He hardly ever reads the newspaper, so he doesn't know what's going on. He hardly ever reads the newspaper, so he doesn't know what's going on. Number 2. It was raining so hard while I was driving that I could hardly see. It was raining so hard while I was driving that I could hardly see. Notice in the first example, we use the word ever. Ever is generally used after hardly. If you're talking about frequency, if something barely happens, we often use ever after the word hardly. Something else that's important to remember about hardly is, yes, it's an adverb, but it's an adverb that denotes frequency or degree. You can't always use the word hardly as an adverb. The occasions that you cannot use it are when you're denoting intensity. Let me give you a couple of examples. He tried hardly to finish his homework. Well, that's just wrong. We wouldn't say he tried hardly. You must use hard, because we are talking about the intensity of his effort. It's almost like saying a lot. He tried a lot to finish his homework. So the correct sentence would be, he tried hard to finish his homework. Here's another one. He focused hardly through the binoculars. Incorrect. We would not say that. Again, the context denotes intensity of effort. We're basically saying a lot, so you would have to use the word hard instead of hardly. So the correct sentence would be, he focused hard through the binoculars. So remember, when you're talking about intensity, you would use the word hard. Other than that, you would use the word hardly, especially when you're talking about frequency or degree. Number 2, we have a fabulous idiom, up to your neck. Up to your neck is usually used with the verb to be, and it means just that you're extremely busy. You're stressed, you're preoccupied, you have a lot on your plate. That's another idiom. Up to your neck, and it's a great visual, if you think about it, that things have piled up so much that they have reached right up to your neck. Here are a couple of examples. Number 1. I am up to my neck in bills this week. I have to make sure I pay them. I am up to my neck in bills this week. I have to make sure I pay them. Number 2. She seems to be up to her neck in problems. I hope she resolves them soon. She seems to be up to her neck in problems. I hope she resolves them soon. Well, that's it for today's podcast. I hope you found this useful. I am returning to podcasting as the renovation is almost over and I have a lot to tell you. I hope you are all safe and well, and I look forward to podcasting again soon. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.